I would like to go all the way to Europe. You want to go to Europe with me,
I would
Kenneth?
love to go to Europe. It's
What are you
been a long
doing? Like,
time since I've gone
yeah,
to
what are you
Europe.
doing like next weekend? No. I'm sorry. We've got with us Barry,
Oh,
him
here.
giving
Okay.
us a call from Europe. Hey Barry, it kind of sounds like you got a little stuff going on. What's up? Talk to me and Kenneth.
Yeah, hey man, it's so good to hear you. Just to get that out of the way, English is not my first language, so please bear with
You're doing
me
great.
if I quite don't understand something on the first go, and be patient with me, okay?
Of course.
No worries. You're doing great. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do I start? I mean, I would love to hear your input on how to manage all of that stuff that's going on. I've been like an evangelical Christian for many years, since I was about 8. I'm 29 now, and I married inside this evangelical community that I'm in, or was in, and all my whole like family life and marriage is based on the Christian faith and all of this stuff. And I started my deconversion like maybe 2 years ago, and have been questioning everything, and have been excessively using all of the ACA shows as a tool for deconversion, and read up on a lot of books, and only recently.
So you're already doing a lot,
2
Barry.
years. Yeah, I know. And only now, 2 weeks ago, I told my wife that I was no longer a Christian, and it was so hard for me to do that. But yeah, also she was really sad about it, and I can understand somehow, because when you marry someone and you're in the fold and you're in the same like community, and you both believe in God, and you're both born again Christians, as they call it.
Yeah.
And suddenly your partner tells you that he's no longer a Christian. I mean, that must be a pretty big shock, isn't it?
For sure. And I would say recognizing that, Barry, is I would think that would be super helpful in navigating this. And before I say anything else, I have to say 2 things that I think are super important. 1, I'm definitely not an expert. But 2, there are a bunch of experts, and they just happen to hang out at this awesome organization called Recovering from Religion. And you can find links for that, I know, on so many different fan run pages for the ACA. You can find it in the chat going on right now. I'm sure in the description, just freaking everywhere, because so many of us value that place. And it is a place where people exactly in your position can call in and be able to bounce some ideas off of a bunch of different people who have been trained and have an ability to be able to link you towards some other really good people. And they're worldwide, man. You can call them any freaking time. You can go on the website any freaking time. And that is going to be incredibly important, I think, in this for you. And honestly, for all of us, like, it wouldn't hurt for every single one of us just to give them a call every so often. I think for sure one of the things that's always going to have to be at the forefront of your mind is what is your goal? What is your goal in all of this? And that can be difficult to figure out, and that can be difficult to keep making progress towards. But if your goal is to be your authentic self, well, just be prepared that there may be some upsetting consequences that come with that. If your goal is to just stay with your wife and child, no matter what it takes, well, understand that there are some consequences that come with that too, right? But at the end of the day, that compassion that you showed when you were explaining this to us, Barry, when you said, look, I imagine this has to be a fucking lot for my wife. I think that keeping that throughout everything is going to result in better actions. Kenneth?
Yeah. I think that if I were in your shoes, I would. So previously, you and your spouse and in this community of yours, you all had this shared set of beliefs, right? That you could rally around and share that commonality. With your wife,
there was a lot of beliefs.
yeah, no, I hear you. I've seen. Okay, so I'm a big fan of street epistemology, and I really like that when trying to have like difficult conversations with people where you have competing beliefs, you can often find some common ground at the outset by just asking stuff like, hey, like we both want to believe true things, right? And if you were to sit down with your wife and go, hey, look, I like you and I, we're arriving at some different conclusions right now, but we really want to believe true things. Maybe we can talk about what the best methods are for trying to believe as many true things and as few untrue things or false things as possible. And we can see, where we land. And rather than focus on the differences in your beliefs, you can focus on your shared values, shared principles, shared goals, and maybe focus on methodology first and foremost and go, okay, we want to believe true things. You want to believe true stuff. I want to believe true stuff. Right now, we're landing in different places. What do we do? And see where that takes you. And rather than being adversarial, which I'm not suggesting that you would be, but rather than go, hey, listen, I am now enlightened and I want to help you out of your primitive and stupid beliefs.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
People do that and then go, I don't know why my relationship turned to shit. Okay. And it's like, well, go figure. Yeah. So I would highly recommend watching some street epistemology videos. And
Bosco, he's a hero. He's such an interesting guy, and I love him. So. But it's so hard arguing with someone who just flat out denies every single criticism of their religion. Like back when I was in the fold and was in the community and started asking questions, I was always told, yeah, you don't have to ask questions. Just believe it. You have to believe it. And if something sounds improbable and something sounds impossible, it's just because, we don't have to explain it. We can't explain it, and that's all you're gonna get. So I've been trying to reasonably talk with her, but it was not it was not successful, and she does not understand that I kind of can't go back. So when I told her, she said, oh, I think it's just a phase. It's just a phase, and you're gonna drop back into the Christian faith, and you're gonna be just the same believer as you were before, and you're gonna come back.
And that's you might want to get like some sort of therapist or counselor involved here. To be honest with you, I mean, that's probably your best move is to get a professional there who can help sort of mediate this process.
There's something, Barry, there's something really, really powerful, it seems, when humans get together and we talk to just like one-on-one. Like Kenneth and I could go at it for like an hour straight, just arguing. And then there's something about adding another person, that other set of ears to sit there and go, hey, wait a second. And even more so, right, when it is a trained professional who does this all day, every day. This is what they care about. And again, that awesome organization, Recovering from Religion, the Secular Therapy Project as well. Those two are phenomenal things. And there's so many wonderful advances these days that honestly, sometimes it's just, it's super easy and just the right thing. Just do a little Facebook Live thing or something, right? Just hop on a video chat with somebody and just say, hey, this is kind of how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. And then your wife says, hey, this is what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. And it's not a blame thing. It's not a attack the other person thing. It's just a straight up, here's what's going on in my head. I want to put it all out there. I want it to be in its entirety. And then when that kind of gets all mixed together with that third person, that therapist that has been trained for this, again, I've seen it time and time again. We can predict it time and time again. We see better outcomes. It doesn't mean that
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that everything's going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy or that it's going to take one phone call and that's it. It's not going to be like that, most likely. But if you do care and you do want to achieve an outcome that's beneficial for you and your partner and your kid and just your community, you can do that. And one of the best ways to do that is talking with some other people about it. And hey, hang out in the fan run Facebook page for this show and other ACA shows. Go hang out in the fan run Discord and
Okay.
just, find some people and say, hey, look, I'm struggling with some stuff. Does anybody have any thoughts? Like,
Yeah.
That's really, really helpful. Barry, anything else? You want to wrap us up? We may have lost. Oh, we did. We lost connection. That's okay.